Okay, here we are, running a little late today. Oh well. Hi, friends. Here I am. I hope you are well. We are going to talk about the nightmare today. It's the nightmare of all voice teachers. So, in fact, I have to tell you a story. A voice coach who took my neurovocal class teacher training, the neurovocal teacher training, told me this really nightmare story. Her student was a music theater teen, and the kid developed polyps and subsequently posted on her social media, yes she did, that the polyps were a result of her voice lessons. And then she just showed up to her next lesson like having no idea of the possible damage, the possible consequences of her actions. I mean, it's been a thing, right? It's always been a thing for voice teachers. We get blamed for all this stuff. But now that social media is is normal, it's so much closer to home. So, in the interest of an ounce of prevention being worth a pound of cure, this broadcast is going proactive. We're going proactive, y'all. Now, I know you are already proactive in that you encourage or beg or, ask or whatever your students to see an otolaryngologist whenever you have the slightest suspicion that all may not be well with your student's voice. And of course, that's always the best thing. It's always better to be sure. Awareness of other vocal issues and how they most typically come about can both help protect you and your students, or I could say that the other way around, both your students and you. And that is all coming up in just a minute. I am Meredith Colby. I'm author of, wait, let me do the thing. I have to remember. Yay! I remembered. I am the author of Money Notes, How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, which introduces neurovocal for popular styles, a way to sing microphone-based styles, genres that is based on brain science. Yes, indeedy. I am a voice coach specializing in popular styles, and you can schedule directly with me from my website right there. That's my website. This month I'm offering a mini workshop, and there it is, how to teach high rock belt. People loved it last time I did it, a few months ago. So I'm doing it again, and you can get the link to the info page on where you can sign up, either on my Facebook or my Instagram. If you are on my mailing list, check your inbox because you have a 50% off coupon. I will get, actually you don't. I'll send it. I'm sending it out tomorrow. It's scheduled for tomorrow. So if you would like a little extra freebie today, put common in the comments, and the Facebook bot, the Neurovocal bot, will give you a chapter of my book, Money Notes, that is called It Doesn't Mean You Are Naughty. So it is a no strings PDF download, and you can just take a look at that. If you are watching on YouTube, the link will be in the comments. And if you're watching on Instagram, I don't know where that link's going to be. You may just have to email me. Anyway, I still don't know how Instagram works, you guys. I know. Unforgivable. Anyway, but thank you for being here with me today or on the replay. Please feel free to contribute your thoughts or your comments. I do go back and check after the broadcast. So if you are watching on YouTube, please feel free, the drill, like, comment, all the stuff. Thank you. So back to the title, we are talking about vocal health issues. And when we do that, we most naturally shine our spotlight on singing and what our singing habits are, because that is the context in which vocal health issues show up for us, the singing voice professionals. But the truth is that vocal health habits most frequently come from vocal health challenges, there we go. Vocal health challenges most frequently come from speech habits rather than from singing habits. Yes, I said that. You know what occupation reports more vocal health issues than any other? Teachers, classroom teachers. A report that I found from the University of Southern California stated that while I actually wrote this down because I wanted you to see it. While teachers make up 4% of the workforce, maybe less now, but back then, It's from 2019. Teachers make up 4% of the workforce and 20% of the patient population at voice treatment centers. Yeah, that is a lot. And those people are not singing to their students. Can I just point that out? So prevention number one is the first part is to just know that singing is far less vocally dangerous than speaking. And the second part is to educate your students on healthy speech habits. You can teach them the best singing technique in the world, but if they have taxing speech habits and or a sensitive voice, which we'll get to in a minute, they could still be putting their vocal health in jeopardy. So understand however you want to do it. Help your students understand and make vocally healthy choices. Now, here's some basics that you probably are already aware of, but your students may not be, and it may be so normal to you that you don't even think to say it to them. So, number one is to speak musically or at an optimal pitch. Now, this is a little bit of a soapbox for me because in Western cultures, women in particular, so this is not exclusive to women, but it is quite prevalent, more prevalent with women. We put on these sort of oral shoulder pads and we talk in these really low voices. I mean, guys, ever listen to NPR? We've learned to associate deep voices with authority and knowledge and wisdom. So if you hear a low voice, that's sort of your natural inclination. And then, of course, we have associated the high voice with someone who's dumb, right? If somebody comes on and they're dumb, they're talking like this. Even if they're a guy, they do the guy version of that. So, did someone say misogyny? No? Okay. But I want to just point out to you that speaking in that really low voice, while it may be authoritative, if that's too low for your voice, it can really be taxing. And over time, it can really cause problems. And particularly, getting back to our friends, the classroom teachers, if you are speaking in that low voice and also trying to speak loudly, then it is really hard on your voice. So that's the first thing. Second, so when I say musically or at optimal pitch, well, I don't have to tell you. You know what I'm talking about. Second is be aware of body alignment. So a lot of times people, particularly people who are more of the lanky persuasion, they have this sort of a posture. And when your voice is out or your chin is up like that, usually it's this though. It just means your voice is your larynx is just like a little bit squished because that's squishy tissue, these cartilages, and it makes it so it can't vibrate freely, and you're just constantly working a little harder than you have to. So that can also be an issue. And also if you're so talk to your students about body alignment. If they are screamers, and you know when you have a screamer, if they're screamers, don't tell them not to scream. They're going to scream anyway. Teach them how to scream. Teach them the magic of woo! They will love it. Trust me. So another thing. Oh, I didn't do that. Teach them how to scream. There we go. Another thing to keep in mind is that different people have different kinds of voices. Now, I know that sounds just like stupidly simplistic. But even voice professionals kind of forget that. I mean, I know voice teachers who assume, or they maybe don't anymore after talking to me, but they did assume that a husky voice is an unhealthy voice. Like the only way you get a husky voice is through vocal damage. No. Husky and unhealthy are not synonymous. Unhealthy voices can sound just fine right up until the moment that they don't. And husky voices can be perfectly delightful husky voices to the end of their days. And also, different voices have different voices just in general. So now I'm not talking about husky or not husky, just different people in general also have different levels of tolerance. Now, mea culpa, my friends, I was more than 20 years into my teaching being a professional voice professional, both teaching and singing, before I knew that some people have more sensitive vocal folds than others. You'd think that would be a simple thing, but I was not aware of that. And yes, indeed, they do. Some singers literally need vocal rest every single day. And they really have to babysit. They really have to baby themselves. That's why my brain predicted the wrong word. They really have to baby themselves just to stay functional as professional singers. And then some people can do all the wrong stuff, right? They never warm up and never take a voice lesson and eat cheese and do all this stuff. And then they just sound great all the time. So, or nearly all the time anyway. So those people have very resilient voices. So, and then of course there's everybody in between, right? We all probably lie somewhere along that continuum, but just all I'm saying is keep your antenna up for that. Because if I'm thinking if I didn't know that when I was 20 years into being a professional voice professional, I'm pretty sure your 18-year-old student also doesn't know that. So if she should be treating her voice with a little more TLC than her friends, than her cohorts, that doesn't, she may not think that she needs to. She might be looking at her cohorts or the other people in the show and they're not doing the things. So she doesn't have to do the things, but she might have to do the things. So she needs to understand that voices can be different and that if she needs to treat her voice differently than other people, that's what has to happen. So it is up to you to alert and educate your singers about how their voice is a different instrument than other people's instruments. And then the last thing I want to share with you, hold on. There we go. That was that. And the last thing, I really do need a production assistant. I just do. Anyway, the last thing that I hope you will share with your students is give them the knowledge and the power to stick up for themselves. Did I do it? Yes, I did. Stick up for themselves. I don't think there is a singer in the whole wide world who has not, in the name of being a team player or of not being a whiner, who has not put their own vocal health in jeopardy for the sake of a rehearsal or a performance. I've done it. I did it a lot. You've probably done it. And also, I don't know about you, but when I was coming up, I never had a voice teacher, and I had several of them. I never had a voice teacher give me the tools or the mojo to make me aware of that reality or teach me how to stick up for myself. Because, what does that even look like, right? If you're a teenager, you're a young adult, what does that even look like to stick up for yourself, for your own voice? So I think as voice teachers, we are guides, we are mentors, whatever you feel your role is, we need to make our students aware of what performance and rehearsal situations can look like and the pressures that they may experience in those situations. We need to help them practice sticking up for themselves. It is true that you can't always stick up for yourself, but you can sometimes, and probably way more than we actually do. Like, help them. Like, have a script. Literally, have a script. Help them say the words. Don't just say, here's what you should say, right? Yes, okay. Thank you, Rena Castillo, who says the thing that is true. That was me too, Rita. I didn't stick up for myself in the early years because I didn't want to be a whiner. And I think we all get in those situations. And if you didn't, okay, here's my question to you, Rita Castillo. Had you had any practice being assertive? Like, did you ever, like, for instance, help them, like, practicing, having somebody help you practice saying the words? My voice feels tired. I'm going to take a 10-minute break. Or practice saying the words, being proactive, being able to say, like, hey, band leader, I need to be done with this rehearsal by 9:30. I'm not going to go until the drummer wants to go. Like, did anybody ever help you say those words. Because I think, and I'm going to wait to hear from you because I do want to know. I think our students need practice they need to find their ways to say things, and they need to be able to say those words with us, to role play, to practice, and let them work through the unfamiliarity and discomfort with us, with you, rather than with the band leader, so that they know what to say when they do have to stick up for themselves. So again, to get the excerpt from my book, why Rita's not getting back to me. Oh, well, why singers get vocal problems and what to do about it. There she is. Okay, good. I got it. So nobody helped you with that, right? Nobody does. We don't think to sometimes. But you teach it to your students. You help them practice because you had to go through it and nobody had helped you. So anyway, it's a big deal, right? And Rita's a band singer, so she knows it is a big deal. So again, to get the excerpt from my book, put common in the comments below, or if you're watching on YouTube, you will find that link in the description. So now I'm just going to wrap it up. If you got here later, you're viewing this later, here's a quick recap. So here are the 4 things. There we go. Here are the 4 things to keep in mind for both you and your students to maintain and protect vocal health. The first is to speak at an optimal or musical pitch. So optimal for you, for your voice, not for work or what you want people to think of you all the time. The second is being aware of body alignment. Small changes in body alignment, moving from this to this, can be so much easier on your voice. Vocal resilience. Be aware that some people have really strong voices that can take everything, and some people just don't. Some people need to be more diligent about practicing and warming up, need to take vocal rests, need to make sure they're hydrated, all the things. So you're somewhere along that continuum, so know where you are so you can take care of yourself properly. And then be assertive. Be assertive for your voice. If the situation permits in any way, please be willing to stick up for yourself and your own vocal health. Thanks very much for being with me today. I'm Meredith Colby, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.